U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders made an appearance in West Michigan tonight. What he had to say during an event on WMU's campus. Plus, the latest from the White House as the Trump administration continues to focus on Kilmar Garcia, and how a local community is hoping to spread an anti-gun violence message. News Channel 3 live at 11 starts right now.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3 live at 11.
Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 live at 11. I'm Princess Janae Steverson. One person is in custody tonight after an hours-long standoff involving an armed suspect. It happened at a home near Balsam Avenue and Holtman Drive in Plainfield Township. The Kent County Sheriff's Office says they were called there just after 10 a.m. today on a report of a domestic assault involving a weapon. Deputies say the victim got out safely before police arrived. The suspect, a 43-year-old man, then barricaded himself inside the home with a firearm. After hours of communication with the Kent County Sheriff's Office negotiation team, the suspect surrendered peacefully just before 6 p.m. If you live on Mount Olive Road, listen up. A boil water advisory has been issued for parts of that area. Take a look at your screen right now. The affected areas are highlighted in red. The advisory is due to a temporary loss in water pressure as the city repairs a water main break in the area. The advisory is precautionary only. It's expected to be lifted within 72 hours. We may be more than a year out from the midterm elections, but tonight, Senator Bernie Sanders came to Kalamazoo to tell a large crowd to look to the future. In his Fighting Oligarchy tour, he endorsed U.S. Senate candidate Abdul Al-Sayed and laid out his prescriptions for today's political problems. News Channel 3's Colin Roos joins us live in studio to tell us his message for West Michigan. Colin.
Well, Princess, a packed house at Miller Auditorium cheered for the independent senator from Vermont as he walked on stage. Sanders touched on the Israel-Palestine conflict and the Trump cabinet in his half hour on stage, but he saved most of his firepower for the state of our economy, saying wealth inequality has never been so large in American history.
The American people will not tolerate oligarchy, will not tolerate authoritarianism.
Bernie Sanders took the stage to tell his supporters his feeling the federal government is broken. Over 6 months, he's visited swing states like North Carolina and Pennsylvania, with Michigan as the latest stop. He began by calling Congress corporately owned and blasting campaign finance laws he says benefit both Democrats and Republicans. He criticized Elon Musk's work at Doge, calling it a reward for the millions he spent on the 2024 campaign.
If any of you want to become an important person in government, all you have to do is find a candidate, raise $270 million, and you're in business.
He dedicated relatively little of his speech to the Trump administration, focusing instead on government programs like Medicare and on wages. He pointed out that the federal minimum wage remains at $7.25 per hour and called for it to be raised to $17. Sanders was animated when talking about the average life expectancy in the United States, claiming it is lower than other developed nations.
If you are working class in this country, you will live 7 years shorter lives than the wealthy.
The other half of the rally was given to U.S. Senate candidate and former Detroit Public Health Director Abdul Al-Sayed. He told the crowd his disdain for the big beautiful bill signed into law, saying it guts Medicare. He described Sanders as the OG on taking corporations to task among Congress and led his supporters in a chant with 3 political points.
1, 2, 3.
Sanders concluded by expressing concern about artificial intelligence and desiring a return to a sense of community he feels is lacking in modern America. He described 2025 as a tough time for the country, but said there isn't anything we can't do as the wealthiest country on earth.
And it's time we started thinking big, not small.
Republican Senate candidate Mike Rogers responded to that speech tonight, claiming Sanders walked away from working families along with Michigan Democrats. Tomorrow, Sanders will head to Chicago for his next tour stop. Live in the studio, Colin Roos, News Channel 3.
Thanks, Colin. Taking a live look now over downtown Kalamazoo on this Saturday night. A pretty quiet day around West Michigan with a few pop-up rain showers. Meteorologist Jeff Porter is in the Weather Alert Center tonight with a look at the forecast. Jeff?
Princess, thank you very much. The big story for your Sunday is a big cool down. We want to start you off here on a Saturday night with a live look in Holland. 65 degrees right now. Skies are clear. Northwest winds 3 miles per hour. Concerns here over the development of rip currents and dangerous swimming and boating conditions. That starts tomorrow as well. These are beach hazard statements that last all the way through Tuesday evening. Could have waves big as 6 feet. As big as 6 feet. Rebecca Witt takes us to Battle Creek. We had rainbows in West Michigan on this Saturday night. In fact, a double rainbow here in the Battle Creek area. Rebecca, thank you very much. Your Sunday forecast. Struggling to get out of the 60s, about 70 to the lower 70s. Sun and cumulus mixed together. There will be a couple of showers. It will also be windy. Officially 62 right now, downtown Kalamazoo on a Saturday night. And your Saturday night temperatures at 68 in South Haven, 62 in Battle Creek, 62 in Hastings. What are our rain chances in the day ahead tomorrow? How cool will be on Monday? Princess will answer that at 11:30.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeff. The Trump administration could deport Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Uganda after he turned down a plea deal. Willie James Inman has the latest story.
According to a court filing, the agreement would have sent Abrego Garcia to Costa Rica if he remained in jail and pled guilty to human smuggling charges. Abrego Garcia refused to stay locked up and was released Friday to await trial in Maryland with his family. A bittersweet reunion after being detained for 160 days.
Estoy muy agradecido con toda la gente que me ha estado apoyando desde el día uno.
I'm so grateful for everybody who has been supporting me since day one.
Immigration officials mistakenly deported Abrego Garcia to his native El Salvador earlier this year. A judge ordered the government to facilitate his return, but the White House initially refused, alleging Abrego Garcia was a member of the notorious MS-13 gang. El Salvador handed over Abrego Garcia in June to face charges in the U.S.
This was his full-time job, not a contractor. He was a smuggler of humans and children and women.
Abrego Garcia's wrongful detention became a flashpoint in President Trump's argument against illegal immigration. And now the president is cracking down on crime in the nation's capital. On Friday, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered National Guard troops patrolling the district to start carrying firearms. Earlier this week, President Trump saluted D.C. police and Guard members for doing their part to make the district safer.
We've had some incredible results. The results have come out, and it's like a different place.
Critics note the Justice Department's own data shows violent crime in D.C. last year hit the lowest level in 3 decades. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
State lawmakers have just a little over a month to agree on a new budget. They have to do so by October the 1st after they failed to meet one on July 1st. That was their initial deadline. If they don't have a budget by then, they'll risk a complete state government shutdown. Now, that hasn't happened in Michigan in nearly 20 years. West Michigan University political science professor John Clark says any organization relying on state funding could be at risk. Clark says that is especially true when it comes to education, as schools head into a new school year without knowing what funding the state will provide. The uncertainty is also impacting organizations like the Kalamazoo Nonprofit Advocacy Coalition as they gear up for a massive $10 million construction project.
Government shutdowns are a problem, right? We've seen them periodically at the national level. We rarely see them at the state level, in part because the stakes are so high.
We're currently in a condition where we don't know if we're going to get that funding or when we might get that funding, how much. So it's really putting us in a bind.
Some lawmakers say they're confident a deal will be reached. Today, local residents focused on an anti-gun violence message through a community carnival. The Northside Ministerial Alliance held their 5th annual anti-gun violence carnival today. It was at Lincoln Elementary on Kalamazoo's north side. Church leaders from First United Baptist Church, Mount Zion Baptist Church, and Second Baptist Church helped put it together. They say they have it every year right before kids go back to school. Organizers hope it will help build relationships within the community.
Power is in the community, because one way we believe that we fight gun violence is when the community come into the streets, where parents, grandparents, children all come together in an event in a place where it's been gun violence.
Organizers say that everything at the event was free thanks to their sponsors. Construction of a multi-million-dollar development is underway in Benton Harbor. It's a new housing complex that also offers support for social services. The project cost around $22 million, with the finished building expected to be 3 stories tall and will include commercial space for social services. Due to funding through MSHDA, the building is required to include space for social services that provide health, Medicaid, and SNAP benefits. This may also include a full-service grocery store, the first in the city limits.
Then you also the grocery store, which we wanted to be a one-stop shop where people can get the necessary services that they need, and at the same time get healthy meals by having a grocery store.
The project broke ground in May and is on track for completion in November of 2026. Coming up, both Mendez brothers were denied parole this week. We're going to take a look at the next steps in the ongoing saga around their possible release. Plus, an investigation underway after a deadly bus crash in New York. We hear the latest from authorities on what happened.
Princess, thank you very much. How warm for the first high school football games of the season. We're going to give you our outlook. It's great to have you alongside on a Saturday night.